The year was 1812. A Swiss adventurer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt was wandering through the vast Arabian desert, disguised in local dress, when he lost his way among towering cliffs. For almost a mile and a half he walked through a narrow gorge between two colossal rock walls, until suddenly the path widened, and there, carved into the limestone mountains, stood a majestic monument. In the barren valleys of southern Jordan, he had stumbled upon a magnificent structure unlike anything he had ever seen, rising 127 feet high. It was not built with bricks or stone blocks, it was carved directly into the mountain itself. Today, the locals call it Al-Khazneh, the Treasury, a name that hints at the legend that vast treasures were once hidden within its walls. The site was breathtaking. Elegant columns rose out of the rock, and at their tops, intricate designs had been sculpted with incredible detail. A huge doorway led into a chamber, but inside there was only bare stone, without carvings or decorations. Burckhardt was astonished, yet he felt that this was only the beginning. He ventured deeper into the cliffs and discovered even more wonders. A massive theater large enough for 6,000 people. A wide pathway leading to what seemed like a great temple, and scattered ruins that hinted at a once thriving city. Even high up in the cliffs, monuments had been cut into the rock. What Burckhardt had found was no ordinary sight. It was the remains of a lost city, more than 2,000 years old. Today we know it as Petra, one of the greatest archaeological treasures in the world. But the questions remain. Who built this city in such a harsh desert? How did they survive in a land with almost no water? And why did they abandon it? The people who built Petra were known as the Nabataeans, a nomadic tribe that once controlled trade routes between China, India, Egypt, and Rome. Ancient sources describe them as desert traders, living in tents and moving with the caravans. But here, in the middle of one of the driest places on Earth, they created a city of stone. After Burckhardt's discovery, Petra soon drew the attention of historians and archaeologists from across the world. They were fascinated by the sheer scale of the monuments. Carving a 127-foot-high facade into solid rock was no ordinary feat. Modern builders would use scaffolding to reach such heights, but at Petra there are no traces of scaffolding at all. For decades, no one understood how these structures were made. The answer came from an unfinished monument still visible in Petra. Only the upper part had been carved, while the lower half of the rock remained untouched. This revealed the Nabataean method. They carved from the top down. First, workers climbed the cliff and dug a horizontal shaft into the mountain. From inside, they sculpted the columns and decorations, gradually working their way downward. As the carving progressed, the rubble piled up beneath, forming a natural slope. Eventually, that slope itself became a platform from which they could finish the lower sections. Nowhere else in the ancient world has this unique technique been seen. But Petra holds more than just monuments. Archaeologists have found over 800 rock-cut tombs here, with inscriptions in ancient Aramaic declaring them sacred, warning that whatever lay inside must never be disturbed. Yet many chambers were empty, containing only shelves where bodies may once have rested. For years, scholars believed Petra was nothing more than a vast cemetery, but later discoveries proved otherwise. Evidence of houses and living spaces suggests that Petra was a thriving city. home to perhaps 20 to 30,000 people in its golden age. But how could so many people survive here, in a desert almost completely devoid of water? The answer lay hidden beneath their feet. At the great temple of Petra, archaeologists found strange holes in the floor. When they used ground-penetrating radar, they uncovered a hidden network of underground channels. The Nabataeans had built a complex water system beneath the city, much like modern plumbing. This network directed water not only from the distant natural spring known as Ain Musa 8 kilometers away, but also from sudden flash floods that swept down the mountains. The real genius of the Nabataeans was in their engineering. They designed pipelines at a precise 4-degree slope. Modern hydraulic engineers know that at this angle, water flows smoothly without creating dangerous air pockets that reduce pressure and cause leakage. This principle was rediscovered only recently, but the Nabataeans mastered it 2,000 years ago. They also built dams to control the floods. Some of these ancient dams, constructed more than 2 millennia ago, still stand today. Petra was not just a city. It was an oasis created by human ingenuity in one of the most unforgiving landscapes on Earth. And yet, the mystery remains. Why was Petra abandoned? Ancient records tell us that in the year 363, a massive earthquake struck the region. Archaeologists have found evidence of collapsed structures and broken walls, consistent with earthquake damage. The quake likely destroyed parts of the water system, leaving the city vulnerable. Without water, Petra could not survive. Flash floods swept through the valley, and the very lifeline of the Nabataeans became their downfall. Gradually, the people left, and the city was swallowed by the desert. For centuries, Petra lay hidden and forgotten. Only in modern times has it regained its place in the world's imagination. In 1985, UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site, and if you've seen the film times Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade ***, you may recognize Petra's most famous monument, Al-Khazneh, as the Temple of the Holy Grail. Even today, Petra stands as a reminder of human brilliance, resilience, and mystery. A lost city carved into stone, built by desert nomads who became masters of trade, architecture, and engineering. But beyond all the discoveries, one question lingers. What other secrets still lie hidden among the cliffs of Petra?